Hey gang, Kirt Jacobs here, host and creator and producer of MoxieTalk with Kirt Jacobs. Have a great team behind us, but it's New Year's Eve 2020, and we've all experienced one of the wildest years in human history if we've lived through it. But tonight is the first installment ever of a new brand that we're incorporating into our content creation going forward in 2021, and it's Off the Cuff with Kirt Jacobs. And I thought what would be the most fitting way to start off this wonderful, illustrious, new, rather informal, fun way to look at topics is we're going to do 25 words you didn't know at the beginning of 2020 that you thought you might have known before 2020, but I digress. All right, here we go. The first one is, oh, and by the way, do you love our bevy of bobbleheads? There's more to come. Our virtual studio is in work in progress, and we're moving along with it. And yes, I'm enjoying a fine, lovely cocktail bourbon from the wonderful and lovely, great Commonwealth of Kentucky. All right, first up is abundance of caution. How many times did you hear that in 2020? No, it's not like crossing the street with your grandmother. It basically means don't leave your home. The next one is, and one of my personal favorites, is Blur's Day. Do you remember in the early months of the pandemic that was beginning in 2020, you never left your home and you basically couldn't remember what day of the week it was? Yeah, it wasn't Groundhog's Day, it was Blur's Day. The next one is bubble. No, I'm not talking about a bubble bath. It means being with your little close friends and family and never going anywhere so the little germs would trickle in on you. The next one is, and has been probably the most popular one for 2020, is COVID-19, which basically is coronavirus oh, see, that's what happens. Coronavirus infectious disease 2019, sometimes shortened to COVID. Sounds very ominous. And then the next one is COVIDiots. Oh, I love it. You know what that's like when a bunch of people get together and everyone on the planet is telling you not to get together, and yet you get together, and guess what? You don't wear a face mask. You're a COVIDiot. Isn't that nice? All right, the next one up is curbside. Remember when people would like just say, I'll go curbside and I'll throw it out to the curb? No, curbside means getting your dinner curbside brought out to you by someone. That's an interesting one. Next up, we've got contact tracing. No, that's not trying to find out who you slept with last week or the month before or the year before. It is who did you touch and when, and who did you see if and when, unfortunately, you were to contract COVID-19. The next one is doom scrolling. Oh, I love that one. Remember in the early days of the lockdown, and you'd be like scrolling through and you'd be looking at, oh my gosh, it's actually the end of the planet. That's doom scrolling. Who knew? The next one up, oh, I love this. This is a fun one. Herd immunity. No, it doesn't mean that your friends and family have spent too much time at the all-you-can-eat buffet. It basically means that you don't do anything. You just let the virus run amok, and anyone and anyhow and any way can get it. And eventually the virus runs out of victims and the virus dies off. Oh, isn't that a heartwarming way to solve a virus, a world global pandemic? I don't think so. Oh, I love it. Lockdown. No, it doesn't mean like when you rob a bank. It basically means you couldn't leave your house for basically anything under the sun other than to get groceries. That was fun through March and April of 2020. Ooh, this one, unfortunately, I've known this has happened to a couple people. A long hauler. It basically means someone who has contracted COVID-19, they get over the disease, and then they have ramifications afterwards. A weakened lung condition, takes them longer to heal, and they're called long haulers. The next one up is maskne. Now, who knew this? Maybe it happens to young teenagers. No, it's not acne. It's whatever happens under this puppy after you leave it on too long. You've got maskne. I love that one. And the next one up is NTI. Now, who thought of this wonderful, illustrious initials? NTI, non-traditional instruction. Oh, the bane of existence for all parents around planet Earth in 2020. And the next one up is, oh, this was the one in the early days of the pandemic. Oh, I got one, and you should get one too. It was an N95 mask, now in museums around the world. And then we migrated on to, hey, you know me, let's get down with PPP. Now, PPE is personal protection equipment, which is basically the things I was talking about. Mask, N95, hand sanitizer, those kind of things. Oh, I like this next one. Remote workers. Now, who would have thought that would be like an in vogue thing to do? If you were remote working, you were basically not at work. Well, now it's a cool thing to do, let me tell you. Next up, quarantini, which is what I'm having tonight because it's New Year's Eve. Quarantini is basically having drinks during lockdown because there wasn't a lot of other things better to do. I think of a couple of things, but I won't say it here. Probably one of the most popular ones outside of COVID-19 is social distancing. Everyone had to stay 6 feet apart from each other. That was a big deal, very big deal. Oh, I love this one, super spreader. No, it's again, not the person that the all-you-can-eat buffet and come back tomorrow, it's free. No, super spreader is an event where a lot of people get together that shouldn't and pretend like there's no virus, no global pandemic. So let's say everybody went to a rock concert, super spreader event. A bunch of people got into the thing and helped nominate a Supreme Court nominee. I digress. Oh, I love this one. Whoever knew that toilet paper would be such a huge word in 2020? Yes, this fine little element of all human existence, at least in America, disappeared. You couldn't find it anywhere for about 2 months. I kind of wonder what people used during that time. I digress. Now, the next one, Zooming became a word. Yes, Zoom calls, Zooming. Have you Zoomed lately? Well, no, it's not doing mushrooms or some kind of illicit substance. Zoom is a virtual telephone call where you actually see the person. Pretty commonplace today. And last but not least, and probably the one that Jeffrey Toobin doesn't want to mention, Zoom bombing. That's where you think the Zoom call's over and you get up from your desk and you're not wearing any pants. Use your imagination. Anyway, that's it. That's our first installment of Off the Cuff with Kirt Jacobs. We got a lot more in store for you folks in 2021. Stay tuned, stay off, and watch all of our stuff. We've got a full bevy of content under our MoxieTalk with Kirt Jacobs brand. Please subscribe, join our community. We're on all the social media platforms. We love you. Be safe. Have a great and safe, healthy 2021. Bottoms up.